I'm just glad my video ain't failed.
All right, Crossroads Sports, episode number 361. I'm your host, Brandon Reeve, joined as always by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, happy Wednesday. How are you doing? How's your week?
Man, happy Wednesday, man. Week's kind of going fine, man. The weather's been pretty chill here in the Circle City. And like I said, week's been pretty cool with me, man. I don't know about the sports world. Sports world's kind of tumultuous out there, man. That's why we're here tonight, man. So as everybody knows, or everybody get find out, we have a special guest tonight. But I'm going to let Brandon Reef give that drum roll because our man's going to be coming on here in like less than a minute or so. So give that drum
Yeah,
roll,
absolutely. A little bit of talk. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got our special guest, Mick Tidrow, voice of the Ball State Cardinals, football, basketball. I guess you could say all sports savant at Ball State. Mr. Ball State is kind of what I want to, call him because he's got his hands in everything. Well, we're going to have him on the show here shortly. We're going to talk about him, his role, as well as kind of preview. We got college football. We got college football starting up week 0 this weekend. So we've got that to talk about as well. Then myself and Jonathan, we're going to talk some Colts. We've got Colts drama, starting quarterback news. Daniel Jones obviously being named the starting quarterback. Anthony Richardson riding that pine. We've got news and notes from around the NFL itself. Pacers made a little news this week, so we'll talk a little bit about that because, as Jonathan says, the association never ends. So we'll have him. We'll talk a lot about that. Tanner will be joining us next week for week 1 college football pick'em. So officially pick'em will start next week. And then we've got Live Golf Indianapolis here in Westfield last week. You can see he got the Live hat on.
Brandon up here, he tried to downplay it. Brandon up here talked to the mayor of Westfield. You know what I'm saying? He tried to downplay it. But yeah, we got a good. This is a nice little cut up. Anybody follows the show intensely, right? You can kind of see the cut up on the Crossroads Sports Facebook page or the Crossroads Sports Instagram page. Man, Brandon actually had a pretty good interaction with the mayor of Westfield, Mr. Mayor Willis. Don't call him anything else, but you know what I'm saying. But that, but like, nah, man. The city of Westfield hosted a grand event in Live, and it's going to set to return, man. And like I said, Brandon Reef and I are going to talk a little bit about that. He was boots on the streets, though, y'all. Boots on the streets.
Dude, I was inside the rope. I was walking with Dustin Johnson, Munoz, and Cam Smith, and all them. So it was an experience that I had on that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they're back next year. I'm gonna be doing it all over again. I will tell you this though: the first 2 days, I think I came my steps for about 16 miles in steps, and I think I lost some weight because it was so hot out there on that course. And a little tidbit before we get going, and Mick joins us. I will say I was walking up the 18th green or the fairway after the tee shots inside the ropes behind the leaders, John Rahm and them, right? I looking up at the 18th green and there's just a mass of people everywhere, right? Just a mass. Everybody's watching. The cameras are on there. You got thousands of fans up there surrounding the 18th green coming up for the playoff. And I'm sitting here walking inside the ropes behind these guys. John, I got nervous just walking up, looking at it. I'm like, man, I ain't even trying to attempt a shot here. I'm just walking up and I'm getting nervous. Heart starting to beat a little nervous. My notepad shaking a little bit. But man, it takes some fortitude to step up there and hit a golf shot that close with that many thousand people watching there, but then the millions you had, watching. So we'll get into it here in a little bit. But 60,000 out there, that was a lot more than the 12, 13,000 that they thought they would get, which says a lot for a small town Midwestern. They got more than what Chicago got. But I do think Liv found something going into these smaller markets. where they can market the hell out of it and get a lot bigger turnout, especially with the concerts that you have. Jason Derulo, Riley Green, you get that niche of people coming in. There was people there that were there for the concert, didn't even know there was a golf tournament going on. So, but overall, just the experience was cool. We'll talk to that here in a little bit. But yeah, man, it was something, especially walking up that 18th and just like, man, there's a lot of people here, and I'm nervous. And thank God I ain't hitting this shot because I would have sprayed it towards the houses or maybe towards the number 10 tee possibly. But
Wow. Now you're
no,
better
very
golfer.
cool. Oh, 100%. It was very cool to have them let us go onto the course. And yeah, following John Rahm, I'm sitting 2 feet from John Rahm. He's looking cool as a cucumber. And I'm the one that's nervously walking up 18th hole right behind him. So I was just like, oh my goodness, here we
Yeah,
go.
because I'm curious to know because you've been boots on the ground as well as to PGA events. So I'm curious to know like what's some of the kind of the differences in that
Yeah.
and atmosphere. Like I said, I want to tackle that. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, Live is a little bit more family friendly than PGA events. So like, we'll tackle all that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. There's definitely a lot more kid friendly stuff there. I mean, hell, it's just like the state fair. You got kid activities. You got a petting zoo going on there as well for the goats. They had a lot of stuff up there. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
So we'll get to that. But let's get our night started. We're gonna have a friend of the program, fellow Ball Stater here, Mick Tidrow, joining us, voice of the Cardinals. Mick, how are you? Thanks for joining us there.
I'm doing very well, guys. Appreciate you having me on and excited to talk some Ball State athletics here, huh? This is great. It's a 7:30 on a Wednesday night. We're 10 days away from kickoff. Let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say the kids are on campus now. I saw all the athletes were on the football field the other night, and they had their little speech thing there. And it's man, it's hard to believe college football. I said what John told John, week 0 is already here this weekend.
It really is here, guys. And we had our first telecast on Sunday for soccer against Purdue at home. So that really kicked off the academic year on the athletics broadcasting side of things. So it was a really good day. Unfortunately, Purdue got the best of Ball State. But yeah, it was cool to have all the student athletes back for one big event, and got to give credit to our administrative staff for saying, hey, let's get all these student athletes together, mingle a little bit. Football players get to hang out with the swimming and diving team, and baseball hanging out with field hockey. So really cool to see all the athletes come together.
Well, how much coffee do you drink a day? For as much stuff as you all over you're Mr. Ball State.
I actually can't have caffeine. So I can't have caffeine. I've got something going on, so I can't have caffeine. So being in this business is different without having the caffeine. So I make sure I can get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. That's how I ultimately make it through. Most nights it doesn't happen, but we try to get to that benchmark.
Awesome. So as we were saying, a little bit of background, you're serving as Ball State's the voice of the Cardinals. Ball State since July of 22. You took over the radio play-by-play duties for football, men's basketball, as well as ESPN Plus broadcast, coaches show, social media functions. And you also added in 23 director of broadcasting and digital brand strategy to your role if you needed any more onto your plate across all the platforms. So how has it been? You're a 2-time Ball State alum, voice of the Cardinals. How has the alumnus part shaped your approach to kind of this role?
For sure. First off, Jonathan, I got to give a shout out. Love the hat back there, by the way. That's a good look. Good look. Had no doubt, but I love the hat. But yeah, the roles shaped and changed a little bit throughout time, Brandon, and it's been really gratifying to see how everything's come together just from a role standpoint. Because when I first was brought on, it was more radio focused, but it's expanded to helping out the TV package, and then now the strategy and the director of broadcasting side. So within the broadcasting role, I help make sure all of our talent and production teams are good to go for each of our 90 plus ESPN events that we do. And I work with our different producers and directors and engineering staffs to make sure that we're all set. And then on the digital brand strategy side of things, that role's changed constantly the last couple of years since that was worked into my deal as well. But this year it's been a heavy focus on trying to get our student athletes engage in the community in different ways with social media projects, and we're still working that through because we just started this different portion of the role, but trying to help out with community engagement opportunities as well. So just for example, working with our marketing staff with the watch party that's happening in Carmel for the Auburn game, and working with the marketing and communications at the university level with our esports team and our marketing staff to put together the EA football college tournament that we're doing for the online Ball State Challenge. So just those are the types of things that my role now is starting to all encompass, but beforehand it was helping out with a bunch of different things, and now trying to help align some things in that aspect. So it's been really fun, and kudos to Director of Athletics Jeff Mitchell for giving me a chance to help within this full-time capacity, because he's been great, and he said yes to every silly idea that I've thrown his way. So
I like that. I saw the college football one come through. I said, man, that's one of the fastest growing games right now, besides Call of Duty and stuff that people are on. It's back, and it's I thought that was a pretty cool idea to have that kind of tournament. Hey, I've got it. I've got the Cardinals. We're in a recruiting battle right now. A little bit here. We're trying to get some new players in, some quarterbacks. But no, I love the atmosphere and how attention to detail it is as well. Even for Schumann Stadium, the cheers, all that stuff that they have in it. So it's pretty cool.
They even have like the shed in the background.
Yes,
in the stadium as well. So I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, exactly. John.
No, Mick, with being the voice of the Ball State Cardinals and covering so many sports, how do you keep up with all the names without fumbling anybody's name? I gotta ask you, because I'm a fumbler. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Brandon was a test. So the first time I might fumble up, somebody's name. That'd be the last time. But like, how do you do it with with such grace?
That's a great question. I have learned to repeat the names and numbers so often in my brain that when I go to bed the night before a game or a match, like I wake up the next morning regurgitating it, because that's probably what I was subconsciously thinking about and dreaming about. No, but being serious, I think it's just a lot of homework, because names are the one thing that I got to make sure that without a doubt I get down, and all the other information is great to have, but names and numbers and pronunciations are the most important. So a lot of schools make it easy for us now, and Ball State started to include this as well, but they'll have on the website for the rosters, they'll have the ears to where you can click on it and listen to the name pronunciation. And a lot of times they have the athletes say it or the broadcasters do it. So it's either coming from the source. So I try to listen to that as much as possible, but I also spell out every name that might be different phonetically on my notes, to where if I have to look down, I can just quickly go through it and make sure that I'm saying it right. So I'm a very phonetically spelled reader, and that helps a lot.
Okay. And we're covering so much, man. Like, what's the off season look like for you?
Ooh, the off season. Yeah, this year it included.
Is there off season? You cover so much.
Yeah, it's usually once last week of July hits, it's usually we're going full force, and then through the first week of June, that's usually the academic calendar year. So there's usually a 2 or 3 weeks where I can get away and unplug. But this year we took a trip out to Oregon with my wife and my family, and then we went to Boston and New York as well with her mom. So we got in 2 really good trips to reset, and that's usually how I try and spend a little bit in the summer, is get as much time with my wife and my dog and then my family as I can, because my parents live out in Utah, so I get to see them sparingly, and I try to make sure that we can all get together as much as possible. So a little bit of travel and some rest.
Okay. Nice. Which is easier, TV or radio?
Ooh, which is easier? That's a good question.
Or which one do you prefer? Do you prefer one over the other?
Now, that's an even harder question because I love both for different reasons. I think radio, I love being able to paint the picture and work with your analyst to entirely bring an event to somebody who's listening. And for TV, I love the teamwork side of the production and working with the producer, having somebody in your ear talking things through as you're working on a storyline, and the graphics pop up and you add to it. So I don't think I have a preference one over the other, more so because I love the two different aspects. But I think from which one's harder? I think they're just each have their difficulties in their own ways, because with TV, there's so many moving parts. And then with radio, you are the eyes and the ears and the sound of what's out there. So, yeah, I think both present their different challenges, but I love them equally.
Yeah, because I've been to some press boxes, and I can just imagine, because you've got your spotter that's got the binoculars and they're calling out numbers and stuff. And then I'm like, I don't know how you get to a name so quick, just seeing a quick number and it's scattering to try to find it real quick, but you do it so flawlessly that you don't miss a beat. So I think that's pretty incredible to see.
No, I appreciate that. And that goes back to Jonathan's point, is just the studying. And usually for a football game, I'll try to memorize 80 to 88 players' names like the back of my hand. So I walk into a game and hopefully I don't have to look at my notes to see who made the catch, who made the tackle, who threw the ball. That's always the ultimate goal, is to know the two deep at the bare minimum for both teams, which puts you at 44 plus specialists. You're looking at about 50 right there. But I try to have 80 to 88 so that I know that if a third string comes in, or if you have a slew of injuries, that everything is taken care of. But it's the notes on the board. I think I probably use 10% of my prep. And that is, to me, I if I walk away from a game on radio, especially, and say we only used about 10 to 20%, then I feel good about the homework that I put in. But I also want to make sure I'm doing the right homework. And over the last 3 years on the job, that's been something that's really been able to be ingrained in what I do, and make sure that I'm prepping very well, but also the right way.
Okay. Now, John, I'm going to say, because Mick won't, and I looked it up, at 27, he was probably the youngest play-by-play in FBS in history. So with that, you're also only the third person to handle the position at Ball State behind Maury and Joel. Maury was there when I was there as well. How have their legacies kind of influenced you, and what personal touches are you bringing possibly from either one of them into kind of your role now as being the voice?
Oh, Brandon, they're two people that laid the foundation for this job. And Maury is somebody who, being the voice for 56 years, is just an absolute legend. And I was able to fortunately meet Maury before he passed away. And I met him at the end of the year banquet for the Department of Media when I was a student. And I won his scholarship twice. And for me, that was very humbling and very gratifying, because everyone looked up to Maury, and the fact that, I was able to win his scholarship twice meant a lot to me, and his legacy lives on always. So I never walk into a booth and forget, especially in our home booth, because there's a plaque with Maury's picture with he and his wife and the dedication to him. And then the booth is also dedicated to Maury as well when you first walk in. So there's always the legacy of Maury there. And with Joel, he was instrumental for me when I was a student, because I helped do the sideline reporting and hosting as a GA when Joel was the voice. So he helped teach me different things. He helped give me opportunities and present things in a different way than maybe my frame of mind had been in. So I'm very grateful for what he did in passing the torch. And when I received the job offer, he was one of the first people that called me, congratulated me. And he's been there to help all the technical questions that I've had. I actually called him last week about something, because I'm like, you probably still know this equipment, but this is happening and I haven't encountered this problem yet. Been in the job for 3 years, but this is the first time this has happened. Do you remember? And he was like, yep, here you go. And it's like, okay, perfect. So just the helpfulness from both of them. And I don't try to emulate either one of them, because they both are their own. I think just from in Maury's case, being here for 56 years and being ingrained in the community for so long, the lessons I learned from him was be where your feet are and enjoy every part of the community, because they all turn to you to hear what's going on, and they all turn to you to know what's happening in Ball State athletics. So I think more so than anything is just making sure that I'm carrying on the legacy of those two, and making sure that I'm doing right by the community.
Yeah. And you came up through your time at Ball State through the Sports Link program, which if I could have gone back and changed anything in my tenure, I would have done everything I could with that program to get into it myself. I ended up staying in administration the whole time, which as you can see, that has not really panned out, but business management side has. But just the Sports Link program itself, what advice would you give to students that are in that Sports Link program, hoping to follow kind of a similar path like you have? Is there any skills that they often overlook that are kind of critical in that particular field?
Yeah, be a sponge. Whatever position it is on a broadcast, always be willing to say yes to new things and try your hand in different areas. Because for me, I didn't get my consistent on-air opportunities until really my junior year of college. And I was running camera and graphics and different positions on the TV side of things to show, hey, I'm invested in this program. I'm invested in what this production is. And that ultimately helped lead to more opportunities on air as well. So I think just saying yes to things you may be uncomfortable with in terms of the work role and listening, being a sponge, and just be the easiest person to work with. That's to me, that's always been something that can't be stated enough, is just be the easiest person to work with. If your producer asks you to do something, roll with it. If your director says, hey, can you lay out during a replay and give your analyst a chance to chime in here? Absolutely. No problem. If they ask you to retake an open, even though you thought it was great, awesome. If you want any, just be agreeable. And for me, that was something that I heard Bob Costas say that once, and then that's been reinforced throughout my career as well, of just be a sponge, be a good human being, and do roles that might not seem like you're going to do that long term, but it really helps you understand what those roles are, so that when the director is in your ear saying, hey, we want to cut to this shot and do this on these replays, you know when to lay out. And then you also know when to set up your analyst. And you can start to get in the mind of all the different positions. And if there's camera 5 over here in the corner or on the side, you know what types of shots they're getting. And when they put it up on camera, you can talk about that angle a certain way. So just all encompassing, be a sponge, say yes, and be a good human.
Okay, perfect. So what we got you? Ball State football, the season's coming up. We got Purdue week 1. What's our early thoughts? You know, you've been at practices, you've met with the position groups. I just watched your video today with the tight ends, with the tight end coach. We've got a new coach, Coach U, in there. What kind of expectations do we have for the Cardinals here in 2025? And you know, kind of after that, you know, previewing the kind of Purdue Ball State game itself.
Yeah, so I never am one to put record predictions out there. I think the biggest thing is the way that they have operated within the leadership of Coach U has been very impressive. And he's won wherever he's gone. He has built up programs that have needed to be built back up in the past with St. Francis and Butler. He's won places that, you know, didn't have scholarships. I know the FCS level doesn't have scholarships, but the different ways he's done it, I think, is impressive, because his mindset has always been play your best players no matter what position they are. And even if this is what he did at Butler, 2 of his best 4 players were quarterbacks. So he played both quarterbacks. He said, we're getting our best athletes on the field. And he said that in his opening press conference. He's repeated that throughout his time so far in camp and everywhere he's gone. I think that sticks out to me more than anything, is when you're rolling with a plan that works for your players. That speaks volumes. So I think the expectation is a fun brand of football that shows athleticism, that shows excitement, and that shows discipline. I was thoroughly impressed with the very first practice of camp when they came in and everybody was just so focused and acted like they had known the playbook for years and had known exactly what they were supposed to do. There was energy, absolutely. But more than that, there was just like laser focus, and like they had already known what was coming from the spring and the summer. And to me, that is a standard that was set by the coaching staff, not just Coach U, but all the position coaches as well, that could help bring all this together before August 30th. And August 30th is A, coming up quick, and B, going to be a lot of fun, because Coach U's alma mater, you know, he's a Purdue grad. Yep. And he just dropped his son off at Purdue. He's starting school there, and we were all joking. So what colors is your son going to wear at the game? And he's like, well, who pays his tuition? So he's like, he's going to be in cardinal and white. But that game's going to be very exciting to be a part of. And I think that to have an in-state matchup like this, MAC versus Big Ten, Coach U storylines, all the excitement, and for this to be only a short drive for Ball State fans to go up and see this game in West Lafayette, I think it's going to be a good one, and I'm excited. Purdue's a team I'm still trying to figure out, guys,
right?
Because 80 plus new players, and there's no depth charts put out there, of course, at this point in training camp. Hopefully we see something next week, but I think that Purdue's still got a few things that they want to figure out, of course, but I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, you got the battle of two new coaches in there, and I don't even know what to expect. I was telling John, we put our credentials. I said, well, we're going to get up there, and we're going to be like, we don't know what to expect from either one of these two teams right now coming up there.
Isn't it funny how that works out? You're like, oh, we think you know what teams could be based off of what coaches did at their previous jobs, but who knows when you've got 84 new players to the program and 100 guys that you never coached before. So.
And that's what makes it harder now with the NIL deals that they have and the transfer portal where you got 30, 40 new players come in there. And, it's and for MAC schools, it's a little harder, to get pick those guys from those right places that maybe have been a second string or a third string at a big university. And they just needed that opportunity, that one moment that you're not really seeing at the other time.
And it's really cool that Ball State has several players that transferred in from Purdue. So, those players will be extra excited to get that matchup underway.
Yeah, absolutely. John?
Mick, I got to ask you, I know it was some time ago. I know it's been a long time ago that Peyton Manning was on, turf at Ball State. And I know you were at that time, you wasn't the voice, but certain perks come with being the voice. Have you been around any type of perks where you got to shake Sinatra's hand, or not Sinatra, not Sinatra, but like Peyton Manning's hand, David Letterman's hand? You know what I'm saying?
I've been able to be around David Letterman before, and it's a treat. Okay. He's a wonderful person, and he's as funny off the set as he is in person. It's great, and I've only been around him for a few minutes, but really good person, and that's one that always sticks out to me, of course. And it was cool to see Dave come back with the Caitlin Clark Netflix series that happened last year on campus. I didn't get to see Dave at that point, but it's always good to see him come back to campus and give back to the school. So I'd say him definitely at the top of the list.
Nice, very nice. What was I going to say? There was another one. I had two more for you.
Well, Mick actually answered all our questions, kind of, sort of, man.
Yeah. I mean, I got a legacy one.
I was like, Mick, how do you gauge success, man? He kind of already told you. If anybody wants to be the voice of whatever program that you want to be in, you're going to have to work and do some things that you might uncomfortable with doing, but you kind of accept that role, man. Dude, you answer our questions thoroughly on that. I couldn't even ask it. I was like, dude, mark that one off.
I've got you. I've got your back.
He's done a few of these occasionally. So we look ahead, maybe 30, 40 years. Say you're still at Ball State and you're still the voice of the Cardinals. How do you want Ball State fans and alumni, try to remember your tenure decades from now? What do you kind of hope you'll leave kind of as a lasting impression as the voice of the Cardinals? As I know you just started, and we just talked to you being the youngest, but as we look kind of where you're going to put your imprint on.
I haven't really thought about that. That's a good question, Brandon. I think more than anything else is somebody who cared about the community and somebody who really poured everything into Ball State. And no matter what happens from today on forward, that I gave everything that I had to the university. And for me, it's just about making sure that the fans feel like we gave them enough content, enough energy, enough enthusiasm, enough information. But at the end of the day, making sure that everybody felt connected. I think to me, that stems out more than anything else. And also just somebody who is always open to talking to everybody and somebody that wants to know your story and know who you are. I think that's important. And yeah, for the end of the day, a lot of those topics and that conversation, I think, is away from the mic. I think it's more about community and, treating everybody well, going back to that conversation. I just hope that people see that and feel that when they think about it.
Absolutely. We'll work on getting you a Maury sweatshirt, kind of like he had one of those. I'm sure people have said we got to try to get you one.
People have, and out of respect to Maury, I will leave those with Maury. I think that's Maury's legacy, and I think that's Maury's thing. I do wear funky socks and things like that. So I don't know. I try to have fun with it. Like I'll have like Pikachu socks, things like that. But I'll leave the sweaters for Maury. Rest in peace.
Nice, very nice. John, anything else for him?
Are you a Pokemon fan?
Oh yeah. Ooh. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, man. You know what? I got to, okay. Let me ask you this. Because I'm a mild Pokemon fan.
Okay.
But I do work with the youth. I work for the YMCA, right? Not to plug anybody, but I work for the YMCA. So I work with youth. So I asked a kid like, who's the strongest Pokemon, and they told me, and I thought it would be totally somebody else, and it kind of floored me who went with the answer, and it looked at me like I was crazy. So I'm gonna ask you, who's the strongest Pokemon?
The strongest? I think Mewtwo's kind of like the answer, but I think that you could go a lot of different ways.
This is what these kids said. That's what I told them. I said it's Mewtwo. There's a Pokemon that can transform to any other Pokemon.
Yeah. I think Lugia is a personal favorite. So, King of the Sea. I think that's always a good choice. But yeah, Mewtwo's pretty hard to beat.
Man, these kids said it was another. I cannot remember. Shame on me. I can't remember that Pokemon, but it wasn't Mewtwo.
Yeah, you have to let me know who they're saying.
Yeah, I will. And they shamed me. Mick, they shamed me. They thought like you don't know about their Pokemon. But no, man, that's cool, man.
Awesome.
I'm with it.
Perfect. Well, you can catch Mick next week. Ball State Purdue football game on the airwaves up there at Ross-Ade Stadium. Is it a Friday night or Saturday game?
It's a Saturday afternoon. Saturday
afternoon. Okay, I need to look at the calendar. I haven't got to that week yet, so
it's okay. A lot of people haven't. I'm slowly getting there too, day by day.
Perfect. Well, Mick, thank you again for joining us, and we'll hope to have you on again as we approach the basketball season, and we can kind of talk about how the football season has been going as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, John. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go Cardinals.
Go Cards.
Sure.
All right, John. That's our guy, Mick Tidrow, joining us. Thank you, Mick, for joining. Very, very cool to get him on. A lot of great insight for him. Kind of his role, what he's done, and kind of how he finds enough hours in the day without any caffeine as well. So, but yeah, real good to have him on, and looking forward to having him on in the future again. So. Cool. Let's talk live golf. Man.
Of course you want to talk about it.
Well, I gotta save the big boy for the end for the people to keep them hooked.
Brandon, well, live golf. Brandon was out here hobnobbing y'all with the mayor y'all of Westfield, and he's trying to be and the CEO of Live Golf. He's trying to be coy about it. And like you walk out there with a box of champagne or something extra. You don't have to split it with me. I didn't have no media credentials. Brandon did. It's all good. I wasn't going anyway. But no, man.
I'm in the blood
Brandon
money,
actually did talk. Apparently. Brandon actually don't say that. We're not a non-political show unless they
we're not.
You know that. But no, hey, real deal. Not in these times, Brandon. Not in these times, man. But like no, real deal. Brandon was boots on the ground, man. Talk to the mayor, man, and like tell him about what the mayor was kind of talking about and what you got. And
yeah, absolutely. So Live Golf was here in Westfield, just down the road from my house. It was a quick 3-minute drive to me to get to my parking lot and to take the shuttle up there. And I started up there on a Wednesday, and I was up there every single day from Wednesday to Sunday. I did go to work one morning for a little bit before I had to go up there for Sundays around, but
there you go.
No, overall, great golf tournament. Completely different from PGA. Louder, bolder, more fan centric. It's they were expecting 13 to 15,000 per day out there, and they got over 20K. And I think that says something about the Midwest. I think that's a niche that Live Golf has found. The numbers they did, we did 60,000 over 3 days. And Chicago did not. even come close to hitting that for the weekend before. And I think they're finally starting to find a market here in the Midwest. They don't have to go to the largest cities. Now, I heard a lot of people around here pissed off because it wasn't Live Westfield 2025. It was Live Indianapolis. It's not Indy. It's not Indy. I understand that, but you got to, for the marketing wise, you have to put it as the big city. So whatever the closest big city is, kind of with that.
Right. And I ain't trying to, Chatham was a great place. You know what I mean? To have it, man. But you kind of got to know.
Logistically, it was a good place. The course they put money in. Liv helped put money in to work on the course to get it better. Was there bad spots on the course? Of course there was. There was a lot of stress on the course, and you saw it with the white lines in some areas of the grass that wasn't growing correctly or that had some problems. We had a really bad storm come through Saturday night that did a lot of damage, knocked down trees up there, knocked over tents and things. And the Liv crew in the Chatham Hills, officials were out there till 3-4 a.m. trying to get things cut down and ready for Sunday's final round. They started an hour later on Sunday, but it was very cool, walking inside the ropes, getting that access to walk with the final groupings of John Robb and the Dustin Johnsons and the Sebastian Munoz group and the Cam Smiths, walking with them. It was very cool inside the rope to follow them. I was getting nervous going up the 18th green, as I said earlier, just kind of with it, but you've got everything. It was very kid friendly. If you want to watch a little bit of golf and kind of kill some time with your buddies and listen to some good music and maybe have some beers or have the kids go to the play, there was a play zone just for the kids to play, like a typical play area that had different activities. There was chipping, there was putt, there was, you name it, they had it there for kids as well. And it was very family friendly. Tickets were pretty cheap for the most part. You did have to pay to get to some of the bigger hospitality suites and stuff like that, but $67 basically would get you in the door onto the grounds. Parking wise, I did hear day one there was some struggles because traffic was a mess. People did not leave early enough, and there were some struggles, but I heard it got better for the next 2 days. They did move it to Westfield High School for parking for the shuttles the last day because how much rain came through Saturday night and where they were parking in a field, it just wasn't going to work. I will say they are coming back next year. I was out there with the mayor and with Liv CEO on the 11th green when they announced it. That was a cool experience to be out there. I got to talk to the mayor. I had to also talk to the CEO. The audio for that did not pull right because it was too loud with the music playing and stuff there. But I really great insight from mayor, kind of how the city and the county, Hamilton County and the city of Westfield kind of pulled all resources to make this event go off without a hitch. The the advertising they did for it, the promotion they did for it, how everybody kind of bought in Westfield for this. And it's been forever. It's 2016 since we've had a professional event here in the central Indiana area that was out there. Now is Chatham Hills the perfect place for a PGA/Live golf tournament? Probably next year, yeah, but maybe after that they kind of possibly look at a different place. There was talk about Sagamore Golf Club over in Noblesville as possibly being a location for it before it went to Chatham Hills. But I think logistically, when you look at parking, you look at the event that you're going to have, the size of it, it's a little bit shorter of a course there, so that's why scores were so high. I think you have to look besides Crooked Stick, which they're going to have their U.S. Senior Open here in a couple of years. If you're looking at another venue that you could possibly have this type of event where a PGA or Live, I think in the future you got to look at the Brickyard Crossing there. It's long enough. They've already had some LPGA events there. The park, you can handle the parking. You have plenty of lots around for the parking. You can clip it. I project within the next 5 years, we will have a PGA or a Live event that will be over at the Brickyard Crossing at the Speedway. I really, really do. From people I was talking with.
Do it. And then Indianapolis people won't be complaining. It would be in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. But overall, great experience. Very hospital. They took care of us. John, I had nice pancakes, bacon, sausage, orange juice in the mornings that they gave you there. Hobnobbing. The press conferences.
Nice pancakes. Hey, man. Yeah. All right. Do you want me? Can I got to put my credentials in?
Yes. I want you to go next year.
Do I got to cut my hair?
No.
So they got certain rules, man.
You don't, dude. They're easy going. You don't have to.
All right.
There was a dude with a fro there. You good? But I will tell you this media credential right here for Live.
Yeah.
I'll probably follow it. This sucker right here, John, they have scanners there. I had to get scanned 4 times just to get into the media room in 4 different checkpoints. That's how serious that stuff was. But it was a cool experience. They gave you some swag as well while you were there when you first came in to get your credentials. You got a shirt, nice hat, those type of things. But next year's credentials, I'm getting you in, John. We're going to get a good camera as well, and we're just going to walk the course. I think I put 19 miles in walking
I gotta
that
walk
course.
the course. Plus, man, you said my nemesis was there, man, and he been kind of ducking me, man.
He was playing in the Pro-Am the day that I wasn't there. Dockich was there playing in the Pro-Am.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip this. You already know. He been ducking me.
He's ducking you, huh? Well, he's ducking everybody. He ain't been on the radio for, but no, Liv was cool. And the fact that Sebastian Munoz won in the playoff, and the first day there, he shot a 59. That's the lowest round in Liv history. Only one away from the PGA record, 58 by Furyk. And then John Rahm went out there, shot a 60 in the final round, took him to a playoff.
Now we know. Now we know the purse on the live side is bigger, man. But like now, come down to talking trash. Who's still got the better golf, Brandon? The PGA golf are they still a little bit more competitive over there on that side? You would say, or no?
Yes, they are. They've got more competition. There was some names here in Live that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this guy was still golfing.
They still got heavy hitters. I don't want to get it twisted.
They do have heavy hitters, but a lot of names you don't hear from anymore when it comes to the majors. Cam Smiths, Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson's.
Oh, wow.
Some of these names. Brooks Koepka didn't give a shit this weekend. He didn't give a shit. There was a video of him over at Twin Peaks over in Castleton after his round on Saturday. But no, I still think the PGA's got it. I will say, going in, somebody asked me my thoughts. Coming out of this Live event, I like it more than when it was when I was going into it. I do like the relegation. So this was the final this was the final week before the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. So they have relegation, John. If throughout the season you got your points total, if you're in that bottom from 40 to 49 or 54, you get relegated. Just like in soccer, where you're out of Live for a year and you have to try to work your way back into it. So people are competing, just try to keep their card, and you get relegation. Right. People get relegation, they bring new people in. I do like that. I think at some point they got to get rid of the team concept. I understand the team concept, and it's different. It sells hella gear. There's so much team gear you could buy at the store: shirts, hats, polos, socks, you name it. They've got it for the teams as well. You don't really see that in a lot of other PGA stores, right? You might get a PGA Tour hat or Masters hat or something like that, but you can get with teams. Bryson DeChambeau, huge name there. He was there as well. But overall, I came out of it liking Live more than what I was going into it. But I still believe PGA has the heavy hitters. Your Scotty Scheffler's, man. He's on the Tiger Woods roll right now, going into the Tour Championship this weekend. So
right. Listen, this is golf overdose tonight, man. People was talking.
We should have got Coach Fleck on.
We would. Hey, man. We ain't. The homies. We'll all connect one day, man. It'll all come together, man. It'll be 4 screens on here. Mick Tidrow, Coach Fleck, Crossroads Sports.
Yeah, as Mike Kelly says, that's why they got it. Merch equals money, 100%. But yeah, the merchandise tent was busy there. It was humming every day. One thing I did like real quick on the course, they had hydration stations. They had misting fans all over the course for fans. They had free water fill-ups that you could take a bottle and just go to the machine and fill it up for free. I did like that as well because it was hot as Hades there the first 2 days. I think I lost 20 pounds each day walking in sweat. And I was already sweating as soon as I walked out down to the putting green to start taking some of it in. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a long day for that. But yeah, we'll kind of see the PGA this week. They're at East Lake for the Tour Championship. Scotty Scheffler still the favorite to win the FedEx Cup Championship. We'll see after this weekend. They've changed the format now. It used to be aggregated based on how your points were. Now it's everybody starting out the same. So we'll see how that kind of goes going into it. News and notes, John. Couple things. Pacers signed Rick Carlisle to a multi-year extension, as we kind of expected. We don't know details yet of how many years and what the money is. The last one, his last contract he signed was a 4-year deal. Say what?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for Rick Carlisle. Free Frank Vogel. That y'all know who my favorite Pacer coach is, man. I'm not gonna step on the toes of Rick Carlisle in this fight. Like, dude, he got the team where they're supposed to go. Realistically, man, and I'll BS aside, man, nobody should question Rick Carlisle anymore. His coaching ability or style. You know what I'm saying? All those things, man. I get it. He don't necessarily have all the titles and whatnot that the Popoviches of the world have, or Phil Jackson, but like, you know what I'm saying, he knows how to get a team motivated in the right direction. So we have him a couple more seasons, man, to I ain't gonna say deal with. They, you know what I'm saying, obviously the ownership loves him, the players respect him. It's a match made in heaven.
Major League Baseball is picking up as we approach the postseason. The Reds are still in it, baby. We're one game out of the wild card spot right now.
That is electric. Ellie De La Cruz is electric.
Oh yeah,
but the thing is like the Reds as a program is just inconsistent as a program. But I'm not gonna shade it. Like,
the bullpen is what sucks. They're good, but the bullpen just can't keep it. I've stayed up the last 2 nights watching this Anaheim series or the Angels series, and it's been late, but we've won both of them tonight. They go for the sweep before they go on to take on Arizona, but they're trying to keep pace with the Mets, and just really nervous to kind of see.
The Mets after the trade went to the shitter. Sorry, and then recently, no, they originally won some games, man, but I don't know. That the playoff race is going to be real interesting. I'm still in awe by what the what the Yankees hit 10 home runs last night. I'm still in awe by
start.
Yeah, I'm still also in awe. How could you not be in awe about Ohtani? Every time he comes up the bat, you think it's going to be a home run, and usually, you know what I'm saying, 1 out of 3 times it usually is, man. So, like, no, man, you're absolutely right about Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, Milwaukee's little run came to an end, but
thank God. Oh my God, that Reds series against the Brewers, the way the Reds lost the Friday night game in extra innings, wild. The way they lost Saturday night's game in extra innings, the way they were gonna lose Sunday's game in extra innings and then came back to win. It's unbelievable. Just that. Oh, my dogs are outside barking. How crazy it was. But let me ask you this, because Rob Manfred came on during the Major League Baseball Little League game that they had. Yeah. And I know you're a purist just like I am, but he's talked about expansion, and at some point they're going to have to look at it where they're trying to take care of baseball players' bodies about realignment. So realigning the divisions where it's more regional friendly, where you might have the Cubs, White Sox, Reds, and Cardinals maybe in one division. You might have Yankees and Mets in the same division. No more NL, AL possibly. But that's kind of looking at that possibly coming down the line.
Yeah, I kind of seen that. I haven't. It kind of hit me in the face. That'd be kind of something that I would want it if this was 1987 and not 2025. And you have to understand, you have to grow your business internationally as well. Some of what these leagues are kind of doing, Brandon, is mind-boggling. What that kind of sounds like is a shrink. It sounds good because now, if I'm a fan of whatever, I can go here, and then that becomes my rival. Of course, yeah, but like they don't really. The Chicago Cubs don't want to play the White Sox. They don't want to. They want to play them uniquely, not 10 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same thing with anybody else. So I don't know, Brandon. Another team, another market. I can see that. Florida
the 2 markets they talked about adding would be a Nashville market and also a Charlotte market.
It ain't gonna be right. It ain't gonna never be Indiana. Nowhere in Indiana where they put a baseball.
You can't do Indiana with all the other teams around. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't work that way. I think you'd have a better chance at hockey, pro hockey team, before you would pro baseball, unfortunately. So,
soccer.
College football. We've got Iowa, Kansas State first game this weekend. John, we've got Pick'em. We don't have Tanner's pick yet, but Iowa, Kansas State, and I had to look it up. They are playing in Dublin, Ireland for this for this first game. Both teams are ranked, and I had to look at this. This is week 0. It's a division or a conference game.
It's a conference game. It's a sizzle game, Brandon. And I didn't really want to just like piss on Kansas State. I kind of if it felt like I came with my pick fast or not. I mean the Big 12 is in flux this year, man. It ain't all gonna be prime and bust. You know what I mean? So the Big 12 is gonna be in flux this year. And Kansas State and Iowa State are gonna be one of the two teams, or it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, to be top dog. Will they get to the playoffs? Probably not. I'm just being honest with you. Iowa State, they're probably gonna cannibalize one another. This is a great cannibalistic game. I would expect they did it on purpose, Brandon. You already know this, Brandon. This is gonna be a 35-41 point game, probably at freaking halftime.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying? Well, I feel this is first game. This is week 0.
You're taking Iowa State.
You know, Big 12. I took Iowa State, but you know, Big 12 can light up the scoreboard. So I expect a big time scoreboard, big time scoring game here.
You got Iowa State. I take Iowa State as well, plus the 3.5. Kansas State's 0-5 the last 5 times they've played their division or conference foe. So I don't think they get it done. Avery Johnson. Kansas State's only as good as Avery Johnson is, and I like the makeup of Iowa State's football team a little bit better than I like Kansas State. So if I'm getting points on the road on a neutral field for this, give me the half hook as well. Yeah, give me Iowa State for that. I'm looking forward to it, man. Pick him starting. Tanner's on next week. We'll get his pick and post it on the website and on Twitter here in the next day or two. I'll probably have to give him hell about it, but now that dude's been all over the place. By the way, he was at Live, and then he went straight from Live on Sunday to Little Wayne. So,
yeah, best life, man. We'll tap into that, man.
Living it
for sure.
Real quick, Big Ten Conference wants to go to a 28-team college football playoff. John,
is that real? Is that just?
I'm teeing you up.
They just pissing people off to because like they just trying to come with something that kind of equates the SEC's obnoxiousness. You know, so I feel like we're going through a tennis match of who can say the most ridiculous thing the best, man. The Big Ten ain't got consistently, Brandon, 4 teams. Okay, Brandon, like let's put the on the cards on the table, man. It all comes down to, I say that how many episodes ago, it still all comes down to Ohio State and Michigan when it comes down to it. Michigan just took a $30 million.
That's next on my list for you.
You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be back at the table. Okay. So the Big Ten run through them. Understand that, even including you, Penn State, this is your best opportunity to do so. So like Big Ten talking about 28, like Northwestern they had a good run back in the late 90s, man. Come on, man. IU, they had a good run last year. Maybe they're gonna have maybe a 3-loss team this year, but like, man, Big Ten, that man. Brandon Reeves said Purdue football gonna win 2 games this year.
2 games. That's
Brandon Reeves said. Brandon Reeves said Maryland's gonna be looking for a new coach.
Yep.
So don't be telling me about what the Big Ten can just necessarily offer. Again, I'm not gonna piss on the Big Ten.
Ooh, I didn't have my 7 things for you. I'll do it next week.
Well, thank you. Because like Oregon, like I get it, man. He's gonna have to answer. He got to show and prove, man, for real too. So like again, there's 3 or 4 Big Ten teams consistently that should always be, you know what I'm saying, hey, well, why didn't you make the playoffs or whatnot? But like
USC. Theoretically, yes.
You talking theoretics, man. When's the last time the USC gave you, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, who's no, they haven't. They haven't, Brandon. Just be realistic about it, man. I
still believe in Nebraska.
They bankrupt the Pac-10. They left the Pac-10 hanging. You believe in Nebraska for this year, man? I don't know. Nebraska about to play to Wisconsin? It's gonna be a tough game. Somebody might be playing for their job.
So let me ask you, Michigan, $35 million fine for sign stealing, 10% fine on their football budget, 3-game suspension for Sharon Moore, Jim Harbaugh banned from college football for 10 years, which I don't think he was going to come back to begin with. No. Thoughts on the scandal breakdown coming down with the fine and such for Michigan?
They didn't scorch the earth on them, so it was enough of you cheated a little bit, but not enough to say we took back the title. Because the guys, you still got to crack them up. The guys still got to hit the heads, and I get it. We saw the play coming, but I don't know. So it was enough to find them, but not enough to take the title. So it's left in the gray area, like pretty much everything else in this world, man. So
right. And apparently, you can just claim national championships whenever you want. That's what Auburn's doing. They just claimed 4 new national championships from the back in the 1900s and 1994 and 2004. I'm sorry.
Because of cheating or something?
Because of AP. The AP national champions is what they're calling themselves now. So they're now, was it an 8-time national champion now? Which the one time people were calling them out a couple times that they claim it. They didn't even have the best record. There was 11-0 team, and they finished 9-0-1. And they're claiming they were 4th in the rankings, and they're claiming that national championship. I guess that's what we do now. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have War Eagle on my ass here soon too, so we'll see. Do we have John? John, you're frozen. We got one more topic. We may have lost John. We had one more topic to go, and it might have been the biggest topic of them all. Let's see if we can get him. Let me kick him. Let me see if we'll get him back in. Oh, we may have him back in. John, are you there? Okay.
Brandon, you start talking about that SEC deep state, man. I was in trouble.
I said War Eagle's going to be on my ass here soon. Damn, your video quality looks good, too.
Anytime you start talking about SEC on this show,
ESPN,
in a negative way, the deep state be like, Eastside Wireless, cut. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, how about WWE, ESPN now? And then the first pay-per-view next month here in Indianapolis is going to be on ESPN. Peacock, see ya.
I know, man. You going to mark out, just try to get some media credentials. I ain't trying to go with no fan, man. This guy try to go as, real media. I'll super kick one of these son of a guns, man. I promise you. I will. Triple.
Okay.
I won't hit his mom in the mouth.
All right, the biggest one. Indianapolis Colts. Steichen yesterday named Daniel Jones the starting quarterback. They have zero. I don't care what you say. Yeah, they have zero faith in Anthony Richardson as a quarterback for being benched the second time now.
Yeah, it's just weird, man, how today's NFL is run. I really put a lot of this, 60% of this on the general manager. I really do, Brandon. I really do. Again, he messed around. You should have had an exit plan when Phillip Rivers retired, and you didn't. And now you put a whole lot of ownership of like this is going to be my guy on Anthony Richardson, and there was a reach anyway. Everybody knew it. Everybody will tell you. All the scouts will tell you. I was one of them. Brandon Reef was one of them. Like, man, this dude from Florida, like it didn't project. I get it, man. I get it. Combine warrior. I get it. I love it. And he does have great intangibles. I wouldn't necessarily have put in a culture that said, hey, man, it's all or nothing on you. This is what I'm saying. I see, because Brandon, he's still only 23 years old. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Could this dude be Trent Dilfer someday? And I know Trent Dilfer didn't blow him up for everybody, whatever, but he did win the Super Bowl. You feel me? At one point, Dilfer was with the Green Bay Packers backing up Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying? Could this dude be again somebody else potentially? Yeah, but it's not. So that wasn't the story. I get it. So this, it is what it is. And Shane Steichen's kind of coaching for his job. He is. Ain't no kind of
Ballard.
And Ballard. They are with Shane Steichen more so than Ballard. Remember, Ballard is the survivor. Shane Steichen is the survivor. Like I said, Shane Steichen is coaching for his job. I said the coach will win 10 games. They got a lot more other issues because like the after effects was like the microphone automatically went to some of the veteran leadership on this team.
The offensive line, yeah.
That's like what I was hearing.
They're pissed.
You know,
well, I would be too. So this is like Quentin Nelson's 9th quarterback.
Right. And again, man, how long is he gonna be here? and you know what I mean, right? So that kind of thought process is in that. So the decision
they just showed they don't want to win a title this year. That this season, I'm going to tell you, Daniel Jones, week 1, will trot onto the field here at Lucas Oil, where the Colts have not won a season opening game in 14 years.
So
he's going to walk out there. The fans are going to boo him.
They're not going to boo him.
They are going to boo.
And
the only way he can get out of that good graces is if they get a win. But I'm telling you, this organization, did they know they have to know what Daniel Jones they're getting. They're not picking Daniel Jones to be the starter because of what he's done. It's because of what Anthony Richardson has not done.
Correct. But Daniel Jones is this is a reclamation for Daniel Jones. So the coach went with reclamation over potential. I still think
there's no future in that. Here's the thing. I don't understand. Shane Steichen just said, he just said that he didn't give Anthony Richardson hasn't had the ability to kind of show off because he got hurt, right? He just got hurt his pinky, whatever, couldn't play in the preseason game.
Yep.
He wanted to see him more passing. You've named Daniel Jones now. You said he needs more, Richardson needs more reps. We need to see the passing. We need to see it. And then you go out and say this preseason game coming up, the last one against Cincinnati, Richardson ain't even going to play. Why the hell is he not playing if he's second string? This is the game where he should be playing the half of football to see what you got. And you're not doing that even.
I also didn't say that I don't think I trust Shane Steichen. But he's the guy, he's the coach, he's the chief, and he's the guy in charge. And he's playing the analytical game, Brandon. But Daniel Jones has won some games, has won playoff games. And it's true. Steichen, I'm assuming, coached against him, you know what I'm saying, with the Eagles in some form of capacity. So, again, I don't think of course, there's some bad tape on Daniel Jones, man, but he's just kind of playing the analytics, man.
Let me ask you this.
Daniel Jones got to deliver the football.
Period. So, I do think Richardson gets a shot back this season because of injury. I think Daniel Jones has some kind of injury at some point that brings him back in. But Steichen said in his notes, Jones is our starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a quick leash on that.
How many interceptions he got to throw?
I don't even think it's interceptions. I think it's injury.
Brandon, if he throws 2 interceptions, man, you talk about booing. The fans going to want Anthony Richardson to come out there.
They are happy with a 16 touchdown, 9 interceptions over Anthony Richardson's 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Well, we're also playing. Are we not playing Daniel Jones just to give him a little tap on the shoulder, man? Feel good. And he playing with a better organization when he's playing with the coach.
Is he? Is he?
Saquon Barkley didn't want to be with the Giants. Jonathan Taylor wants to be here. Jonathan Taylor wants to be here. Coach.
Richardson said all the right things yesterday afterwards in the locker room. He answered everything correctly.
I thought he did.
Yes, I did too. And then last night, late, his agent goes on a warpath with Stephen Holder and is pissed off. And Holder says at the end, I would not be shocked if Anthony Richardson's team requests a trade.
So again,
this is not what we signed up for, quote unquote, kind of what we're saying.
Well, I get that. There's really
you said I do this in the offseason, do this, I'd be the starter. Now we're doing the starter, and I'm not that guy.
That kind of goes on the coach, man. And I get everybody supposed to be aligned, but Anthony Richardson has to not understand that you are not. Hopefully, your agent hopefully understands that you are not a basketball player. You are an NFL football player.
Right.
Don't go in here pissing off this organization because some of that could try to trap it with you. There is a little bit of element though, Brandon. A little bit. I just kind of told you I ain't trusted Shane Steichen. Is Richardson, with him being young, is he getting the right amount? Is he getting the right coaching? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But Brandon, to answer your question, man, or his representation question, ain't nobody trading for that. Not what you think that his value is. No, ain't nobody trading for that. So, play it out. Get your opportunity. This is how I would do it. This is my advice. Play it out. Get your opportunity. We know Brandon Reeve knows it's a poor play or injury. I say poor play. Brandon Reeve says for sure injury. I will agree with that. If Daniel Jones does get injured, Anthony Richardson would for sure be out there, and then you'll see what we got. I would still stick to Brandon Reeve. Listen, before we start getting on this debate, I'm gonna stick to my guns. They still gotta win. They gonna win 10 games. 10 games.
10 games. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they just talked themselves into 7. I lowered it. Anthony Richardson gave you the best chance to win. Now, let me ask you this. This was a great question that was brought up to me online. Would you rather have a higher ceiling or a lower floor?
If I got a lower floor, it means I ain't got no basement, man. So give me that higher ceiling.
I mean, that's what you're looking at. A higher ceiling would have been Anthony. So in your case, then you would have played Anthony Richardson, who had a higher ceiling than a lower floor of Daniel Jones. You know what you're going to at least get. By the way, Daniel Jones, he's only averaging his career 6.8 or 6.9 yards per pass. That ain't going to cut it, John. Unless they're going to say, you know what? We're going to go the safe route. We're just going to go dink and dunk, safe route. And the Steelers did that with Kenny Pickett and all the other quarterbacks we had, and it sucked for years. So
I don't think the coach is going to light them up offensively this year, man. They'll find ways to win. Defenses should be playing better this year.
They got to be healthy. There's no secondary. Your captain's not even taken a chance on the field yet.
Right.
So I have questions on that defense that you're talking about that's going to win them games.
Just got to win the close.
The best part is they're playing a train wreck of a team week 1 with Miami.
I'm saying, you got to win a close few. You got the AFC South. Get your act together. Yeah, Colts. Stumble into 10 games.
You know that ain't right.
Anthony Richardson come in. Anthony Richardson come in and win 6 games for you.
Browns have named Joe Flacco, former Colt Joe Flacco, the starting quarterback there.
I thought
Cleveland.
I thought it was a joke, man.
The Packers offered 2 first-round picks, 1 second-round pick, and a 5th-round pick for Micah Parsons, and Jerry and Steven declined it and said, no, thank you.
If that is legit, then he's a fool because he's not going to get no better haul than that. He's a fool, but we already know he's a fool. Sorry, Jerry.
And then, by the way, there's a new documentary on Netflix, just came out yesterday. I am through the first episode right now. It's America's Team with the Dallas Cowboys of Jerry Jones. From when he took over the Cowboys all the way through all the drama with the playmaker, Aikman, Emmett, all that whole run to where they're at now. And it's good so far.
They would have been the greatest team of all time, Brandon. They would have won 4 Super Bowls straight.
I didn't realize how the Jimmy Johnson saga came out with him being head coach, where they were caught at a restaurant together. And then Tom Landry, the late great Tom Landry, found out the next day on the newspaper that, Jerry's talking with Jimmy Johnson to bring him in as a new head coach.
Jimmy Johnson was doing his thing in Florida, man, and came through the back. Yeah.
So they talk about that in the documentary as well. So it's this documentary so far is everything I've heard is everything that you wanted that initial Patriots one to be, when it was Belichick and Kraft, where he was just blitzing on Belichick. This one so far has been pretty good, and I've seen some good reviews for it. So my last thing I have, John, is Indiana Fever just need to cancel the season. Do not let Caitlin Clark come back this year. Everybody's fucking hurt. Everybody's injured. Just lose your last 9 games. Go out quietly. Get a nice draft pick. Kelsey Mitchell is the person, the scorer, tearing it up 36 in the second half the other night. But so many people are out. So many people are hurt. They've had how many, like 4 or 5 hardship contracts they've had to sign people to. Let's just keep Caitlin out the rest of this year. Let's get ready for next year.
Yeah, WNBA, of course, obviously in the offseason has a lot to deal with in their labor talks and whatnot. Man, they got to start thinking about, paying the ladies more and expanding some of their roster so that you don't run into instances like this where people are signing contracts off players off their couches or whatnot, man. So, man, the Fever, they were battling, man, for a little bit, man, and you know what I'm saying? And then it was kind of
Cunningham got hurt.
Yeah, Cunningham got hurt. Season, man.
The Erica McDonald hurt.
Yeah, man, Fever. Let's get this. Yeah, I ain't saying pack your tent, but pack your tent and draft that next one from the UConn. For sure.
There you go. Housekeeping, next week's show. will be a Wednesday show. It will be, as everybody's looking forward to, college football is back and we've got NFL back. Next week's show, ladies and gentlemen, will be a hour and a half to 2 hour show, especially with Pick'em in there. So we've been going hour shows, or hour and 15 or 55 minutes have passed. Those are done now, folks. We've got the 2 hour, we got hour and a half, 2 hour shows coming with football, with more football and more football. And then John's favorite, the association, joining us again. So all that's happening. I want to thank our guest, Mick Tidrow, with Ball State football, Ball State Universities in general, man. The dude is busy as can be, and he took time with us to kind of talk him and to talk Ball State as well as the football team coming up. So we couldn't thank him enough as well. Hope to have him on later on in this year. He loved the hat, John, in the background. Next time I'll switch my hat out. I'll put my football helmet on next time for him.
I'm an alumni, man. How could I not represent? You know what I'm saying? We got a fellow alumni on, man, especially the voice, man. No, it was great to connect with the voice, man. I always share. I do. I share a lot of his content either on my Twitter handle or through the Crossroads Sports handle, man. He's engaged a lot with sports, man. He you know what I'm saying, keeps it 100 on the Ball State side, man. How could we not have the voice, man? For sure.
Yeah. We are working on another guest, possibly. I don't know if it'll be on next week's show or it would be a standalone we would just add in by itself. But we're working on getting Charles Davis of the NFL Network and NFL on CBS to join us. Also, his voice is on Madden. So if you play the Madden game, it's on there. Me and him right now are just trying to work out some dates and times possibly to get him on for a little bit to talk. So more to come on. We'll get him. But Tanner's back next week. Pick'em's back. The wildness, the craziness, and more. What you cannot miss. We're back, baby. Football is here. We've made it. Thank you again, Mick Tidrow, for joining us from Ball State. Thank you, Ball State. And John, have a great rest of your week, man. Conversation always continues on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll continue it from there. TikTok. Hey, man, my Bryson video had 26,000 views.
Shout out to Mayor Willis, man. What you talking about, Willis, man? The city of Westfield.
We got a spot for you up here, John. So,
thanks for watching.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week.